So as we can see right here, Chicago Bears wide receiver Darnell Mooney had a couple things to say when he appeared on the 33rd team, and by the title we can see his plan to ball out includes a new mindset. I'm just disrespecting everybody. Now we think, what does this mean? We don't want players who are disrespectful, who don't play between the white lines. Well, let's dive a little bit deeper into what actually he's saying. And I think as we talk about this, I think this is a mindset that the entire team should adopt. From the front office to the coaches to the players on the field, this is the mindset that I'm loving to see out of Darnell Mooney. And I think a lot of people, if they adopt this mindset, big things will happen in Chicago. Now, right here, his first quote: "Do whatever I can for my team. I mean, ball out, of course, dominate. Not really on the respect my name anymore. I'm just going out for disrespect." Now, this can mean a lot of things, but understand what exactly he's saying. We're not seeking validation from the NFL. I don't need all the awards. I don't need the accolades. I don't need to be in your top 10 receivers list, but I'm going to disrespect people by the way I play on the football field. They're going to know my name. And it's a difference between seeking for validation and earning validation. It's one thing, I'm playing good. Why is nobody noticing me? But I'm going to play so good, they don't have a choice not to notice me. I'm just disrespecting everybody now. Don't really care about respect no more. Other than that, I just want to win. Don't really care about anything else for real. And like I said, this mindset in the disrespectful era in 2022 had the season that many expected to come off of that 21 season, where he had 81 catches and 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. But it didn't go as planned, and he also had the ankle injury in week 12. But on top of that, we just want to play great and do what we're asked to do and win football games. And I think the reason that I say this goes for the entire Chicago Bears team. And we're going to get into this depth chart a little bit here, talking about further what I'm saying. But everybody, Justin Fields, he doesn't need to seek the respect. Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, you don't need to seek the respect of anybody. As long as you know what's going on in your room, you're winning, you're getting better every day. When we get on that football field, that's where we earn our respect. We're disrespecting all of our opponents because you shouldn't have the right to come out here and say you're as good of a team as us. You shouldn't have the right to put on our pads and mark us on your schedule as a victory. This is not that same Chicago Bears team. And kind of the same thing as what I was saying is it starts with the community. Chicago Bears fans, the front office, the players, everybody, even in the environment, at the facilities, we need to know that when we go on this football field, when we start playing these games, it's a different feeling. And Ryan Poles, in the previous video I made, he talked about it. The practice field, the weight room, everything, a different feeling. And I think if everybody can buy into what's going on, this transition from what was previously been now to this, it'll be great. In the past season, we see Darnell Mooney, 40 receptions, 3.3 catches per game, 493 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, we got to understand, this was a team that had a predominantly heavy run offense, and that can go some into this. But at the same time, this year, and I've talked about it as well, we don't want to run Justin Fields as much. We got these 2 running backs with Herbert, and we also got Johnson to add in 3. We got Herbert, Johnson, and we got Foreman. Now, beyond that, this receiving core is very solid, and I think a lot of people are underrating it because there's just not the big names that pop off your screen. DJ Moore has been underrated far too long. Did a film breakdown on him, which you could check out, but it's just been a lot of underrated. So we're not seeking for respect. I'm not asking anybody to respect me. I'm disrespecting everybody. And everyone should have that mindset. Now, we talk about that injury in week 12. I talked with some Chicago Bears fans, and they're a little nervous about it. Is he going to be healthy for the start of the season? Brought in Tyler Scott, a burner out of Cincinnati. Is he going to be that guy that comes in and steps in that slot type of role, stretching the defense out? We don't know just yet. And I think this is some good news from Darnell Mooney as well. I am running. He's running, and that's the biggest thing. It starts with the physical therapy, then you start to run a little bit, and then after that, cutting. It's one thing to run, but you got to trust your body to cut. And the fact that he's cutting this early in the process, before we get into training camp, before we get into preseason, the fact that he's cutting shows us that he's getting really healthy, getting prepared for this season, and he trusts his body a little bit more. Now, he has screws in his foot from the procedure, so he'll be a little robotic jokingly, but probably 1,000 times better than he was in this past season. And Right here, this is everything what I've been talking about. Can likely scale back field scrambling to avoid harm to his franchise quarterback. Rushed 160 times last season. That's a lot of runs, especially for a franchise quarterback. This isn't a backup. This isn't a bridge guy. This is the 10-year guy who we want. And the wide receiver corps is much better. DJ Moore, Claypool, Velus Jones, Tyler Scott. A lot of what we're working with. Now, and this is the interesting thing with Darnell Mooney, because we brought in a Tyler Scott. Gonna see how good he looks in this offense, but the days of Mooney being peppered with passes are likely going. This is a solidified receiving core now. We got people in every position, all of places, different skill sets, versatility throughout. Now, he had 47 more targets than any other Bears pass catcher in 2021 and came just 9 targets shy of leading the team again, despite missing 5 games. So you missed 5 games and you almost led the team in targets in 2022, but he should have opportunities aplenty, take on defensive backs and lighter coverage. This is good for him because he may be that exclusive wide receiver 2, and that could be good because DJ Moore being that wide receiver 1, he's been there, done that. And then we're getting the second DB on the group for Darnell Mooney. That could be a lot of things that he could take advantage of. Now, his primary objective is winning. Now, we understand he wants to get healthy, wants to produce, and we got that contract coming up. This is his contract year. We can see it right here. And they want to see him running stuff and talking about the prospect of a new deal. We'll see. Now, we don't want to get into that just yet. I think it's way too early to start talking about the contract. But what I do want to talk about is these receivers. And I've said the same things for other teams I've talked about, specifically the Detroit Lions, because they have receivers. It's not a big name. Every team doesn't have a Jamar Chase. Every team doesn't have a Justin Jefferson. This is not that, but at the same time, it can win, and it can win at the highest level. Now, we talk about the best receiving core in football. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, all of that. You don't need all of that necessarily. Now, when you do have it, you take advantage of it, and it's really good. But Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Scott, Equinemius St. Brown, all of these guys can get the job done because you need that solidified number 1, and I think you have that in DJ Moore. I feel pretty comfortable in saying that. Watching him, plays bigger than his size. He's aggressive. Chase Claypool, he's also aggressive, can go for the catch at the point of attack. So having him in Darnell Mooney, technician, route runner type of guy, and he also has speed. So run after the catch in a situation like that. DJ Moore, we know he can run after the catch. So you got the skill to balance each other. All of these guys, they want to win. DJ Moore has to have that alpha mindset, but all of these guys having an alpha mindset, but it has to be a fine line. Has to be that balance between, okay, I want the ball. I'm the best guy in this room, but at the same time, I want to win, and I want to win a lot. So my targets may not reflect winning all of the time, but I understand it's at a good cause. Got Cole Kmet, got Robert Tonyan. I think we have a lot of weapons to work with, and this is not even talking about the running back group, because I like 1 through 4. I like Foreman, I like Herbert, Johnson, and Travis Homer. And we know this is a team that likes to run the football, so they got all of that. PJ Walker bringing in some of that same skill set as Fields is a nice backup. I feel really good in saying things are going up for this team and understanding that you don't need big time names. You don't need first round picks as all of your starting receivers. You don't need Devontae Smith and AJ Brown to be successful in the NFL with your passing game. You need timing, you need precision, you need trust. And that's things that build in training camp. You have guys who you can trust. You have guys who can run routes. You got guys who can do things after the catch. All of these weapons to take advantage of. It's coming down to Justin Fields to bring this all back to the quarterback, the guy leading the show. Darnell Mooney going right here. We can see in the title. His plan is to ball out. And it includes disrespecting everybody. We're not searching for respect. We're not hunting for respect. We don't care about your validation. We care about the Chicago Bears, and I'm earning the respect of my teammates. But if you're facing across from us this season, you're getting disrespected. I'm going to leave you with that thought for today. What do you think about this mindset? Should everybody on the team adopt this mindset? I think everybody in the organization, down to the community in Chicago, should adopt this mindset because I like this receiving group. I like Darnell Mooney. I think he's a guy who can work towards getting a new contract. And these are all of the thoughts and things that I have to catch you up for today. But now, we out.